The second most impressive debut from a SWAC player this week 0 was Dee Davis of Alabama State. This kid's going to be special. Let's talk about it after the bumper. What is going on, everybody? What is going on, everybody? My name is JeffLightsYJr. here at the Black Boss channel and Victory Formation. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and the notification bell because we upload every single day. Now, the player I thought was the most impressive during week 0 of all the SWAC players was Jeremy Musa. Jeremy Musa is an older player. Jeremy Musa has been playing college football for 4 or 5 years or so. He's a graduate transfer to FAMU. He looked really, even though he didn't get much playing time, he didn't do a whole lot at Vanderbilt. He looked really, really good, really, really poised, really, really under control in his game against North Carolina. I think he could be special for FAMU this season. But the second most important, most impressive young man, week 0, that plays on a SWAC team was Dee Davis. Dee Davis, who's only a freshman. Dee Davis, who's only in the second year of college football, the transfer from Auburn. Dee Davis, I always thought he had potential to be really special. And it really still is only potential because it was just one game. It's week 0 against Howard. But boy, did he flash. Great potential. I think this young man can be a star in the SWAC. And Dee Davis was able to lead Alabama State in a win over Howard in the MEAC SWAC challenge. Of course, this game was filled with lightning delays and ultimately had to get ended early with 2 minutes left in the game because the lightning just wouldn't stop down there in Atlanta. Let me show you the box score and let's talk about Dee Davis and why I think he can be special. His stats aren't like mind-blowing, right? That's why numbers aren't everything. It's why you have to watch the game. But his stats were good enough and he showed flashes to you be like, yo, this guy is going to be really, really good. And 16 of 23, 184 yards. Once again, not crazy impressive. He only had 23 throws, though. And like I said, the weather, the lightning, all of that, all of these delays, we're talking about over 2 hours worth of delays before they finally called the game. A touchdown and a bad interception. You know, interception where he threw the ball in traffic and it got tipped and picked off. So not excusing all of that. But the throws, the pocket poise, the fact that he keeps his eyes down the field the entire time, even when he decides to run or before he decides to run, he keeps his eyes down the field, and the way he was able to utilize his legs and utilize his running ability. See, a lot of times when you get these big times kids out of high school, they just always want to take off running. But we're seeing more and more developed and polished players even coming out of high school who are using their legs when they need to, not just because they can. And Dee Davis showed that ability in their win against Howard. Now, Howard was in this game. Howard's problem is Quentin Williams didn't have a good game at all. He didn't really want to push the ball down the field. As you see, he only was averaging 4 yards of completion. That's just not good enough. 4 yards of completion compared to Dee Davis's 8 yards of completion. You want to get your number around 7 to 8 yards of completion. 4 just isn't going to cut it. He's known for his deep ball, Quentin Williams, that is, but he didn't let it rip. He didn't throw the ball down the field only a couple of times. And then you hold the ball too long and you get sacked, and it just got really ugly for just the offense for Howard. Just looked just out of sync the entire time, even though they really legit still had a chance of tying or even winning this game at the end. Just the weather wouldn't allow them to get another chance. But Dematrius Davis, I talked about before this game, I thought that this young man, just from his pedigree, just from his resume, he had a chance to be special, but I wanted to see it out on the field first. I was like, yo, this guy in 2-3 years, you can look up and he can be a SWAC all-time great just off his resume alone, just off his resume. Now, the team has to continue to build around him, and he has to prove that he can go out there and do this, at the college level. Doing it in high school is one thing. Doing it at the college level is a totally different thing. And just in game 1, MEAC SWAC Classic, first college game, all the weather delays, everything, if you just add everything into it, I thought he had a really good debut. I thought Jeremy Moose's debut was better. Like I said, that's why I wouldn't say he was the best player in the SWAC, but he had a good enough debut to win MEAC SWAC Challenge MVP. He had a good enough debut to get the SWAC only their 5th win in 16 tries in the MEAC SWAC Challenge to try to, not a whole lot, but close the gap. It's going to take years before you can completely close it. But to get the 5th win out of 16 tries, he did his thing. The Alabama State defense played really well, also only giving up 13 points. But I really like Dee Davis. I think they're going to have to establish that run game. I know the Howard defensive line was really good. Howard had a guy wrecking stuff on that D line. But Dee Davis throws a pretty ball, keeps his eyes down the field. And like I said, that upgrade in quarterback for all the SWAC schools across the board are going to show this season in the play of the teams. The teams are going to be better. Now, obviously, somebody's going to have a bad record, or a couple of teams are going to have bad records. But the upgrade in quarterbacks and the teams who upgraded those quarterbacks are going to benefit from that. You're going to see the residual income from going out and getting a signal caller that can really ball. That's one of the things that is holding the SWAC back. The trenches play, the quarterback play. Trenches play still needs some work at a lot of schools, but we've seen a lot of schools go out and upgrade that QB1 position, and it's showing. FAMU upgraded their QB1, and it showed. Alabama State went out and upgraded that QB1, and it showed week 1 getting the SWAC, like I said, only their 5th win in the MEAC SWAC Challenge. Dee Davis is a guy that in 2 and 3 years, I think we're going to be talking about as one of the best to ever come through the Hornets, and possibly one of the best to ever come through the SWAC. That's how impressive he was to me. That's how good as a freshman to go out there. Like I said, he didn't light the world on fire, but he showed the flashes. He showed the poise. He showed the pocket awareness. He showed the passing ability, the keeping his eyes downfield, just something as simple as keeping your eyes downfield. He showed. And he's going to have his freshman mistakes. He's a freshman. This is his first time really getting playing time in college. He's going to have freshman mistakes. He had one when he threw that bad interception. But boy, oh boy, he showed way more good than bad. And I can't wait to see his journey at Alabama State. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Dee Davis and the Alabama State Hornets were able to pull out a 23-13 win in this MEAC SWAC Challenge to give the SWAC only their 5th win in the entire history of the challenge. Hit that thumbs up button. Once again, my name is JeffLightsYjr with the Black Boss channel with Victor Formation. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at JLightsy7. That is at JLightsy7. Also, we're on the road to 4K on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel, JeffLightsYjr. We're on the road to 4K. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hit that thumbs up button on your way out, and I'll see you next time. Peace.